Today we're going to be doing mock draft 3.0 of the offseason. We have some absolutely shocking picks at the end of this mock draft, so make sure you stick around for the whole thing. And without further ado, let's get into it. Well, with the first pick, it's been the same in all of our mock drafts up to this point. We're going Fernando Mendoza. It's not a very tough decision here. The Raiders are clearly taking him. It's been leaked everywhere that they're taking him, and everyone just kind of jumps on board. I feel like towards the end of the season, actually, it wasn't very clear who's going number one. A lot of people were still debating it. And then as soon as the Raiders locked in number one, everyone was like, oh, yeah, Fernando Mendoza. And it just became like a thing. I guess that that's like what everyone thinks inside of Raider Nation. Everyone thinks outside of Raider Nation. So that's what we're going to go with here. We've talked very extensively. We just did our quarterback rankings recently. If you haven't seen those, make sure you go check them out. But we talked about Fernando Mendoza extensively there. But I feel like it could be a tough fit for him, but it could also be a very good fit for him, depending on what they do with that offensive line. But you got Clint Kubiak, you got Ashton Jeanty, you got Brock Bowers. Like, you've got some pieces around him, and you know he's got a strong work ethic. He's gonna put the work in and try to be the best quarterback that he can. Would he be won most years? No. And people don't seem happy when we say that for some reason, but he wouldn't, and that's just a fact. It's a very, very, very weak quarterback class, but he looks like it's going to go one anyway because people love to reach on quarterbacks.
Yeah, well, like right when the Raiders got the pick, it's because the Giants had it before. They obviously weren't going to take a quarterback. If the Raiders could get a good offensive line in like free agency or something, and then draft like Omar Cooper in the second round, he could be like the JSN for Clint Kubiak, you know? I don't know. I feel like their offense would be really good in that case. But I think for Mendoza, you have to build such a good foundation for your team, like a good offensive line, a guy who can separate. You just need all these good players for him to work out. But if you get the right supporting cast around him, I think he can be a very good quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I necessarily agree that he'll be a very good quarterback, but he could be all right, I think, in the league. He's super, super accurate. I mean, ridiculously accurate. He does have a very below average arm in our opinion. However, I think with that accuracy, if he could figure out how to translate to the NFL level, he could obviously do something with that, especially in Clinton Kubiak's offense, which, like you said, if you get some pieces in there, like he's shown what he can do with play designing and all that. I mean, absolute masterclass this season on the Seahawks offense. So very interested to see what he can do. Not happy he came into division. But
yeah.
Moving on to where the mock draft really begins, kind of figuring out what we have to do. The Jets, which is a very tough pick.
Aaron Glenn, what does he want?
I can't believe he's still there.
Oh, dude. I don't know. Which pass rusher would he want? I just think David Bailey does not make sense for them just because of his skill set being too similar to Will McDonald and Jermaine Johnson. I think I'm going to go with, we've had him falling a lot recently, but Ruben Bain, I'm going to go with here. He's got such a large range of outcomes. He could go anywhere from 2 to like 11.
Yeah, it's
insane. But at the end of the day, you just kind of got to look at the tape and rely on the tape rather than, how long are his arms? And also, I know there's like hand exercises that make your hand at least measure bigger. That's what Kenny Pickett did. It made his hands like way bigger. They're still obviously incredibly tiny, but I'm sure there's some way to make your arms a little bit longer. His arms are not the shortest in this class by any means, or even by any first-round player in this class. So I don't really understand why we're,
freaking out,
trying to find all these weaknesses in Ruben Bain. Like, his arms are so short. Will he be able to win? Well, he beat NFL talent in college. He beat anyone you put him against. Like, there's just nothing else he could have done to improve his draft stock. So I think at 2, this is a really good pick for the Jets.
Yeah, I think this is probably the best pick they can make here. Obviously, I think that a bigger need on the defense side of the ball would be someone like Caleb Downs, but it's like positional value. Is it worth taking a safety at 2? Probably not, especially when you got a guy like Ruben Bain on the board. But we always talk about how tough of a spot this is for the Jets. Like, it just doesn't feel like the right spot for them to draft. And I think a big reason for that is the fact that it's the fact that we don't take Ruben Bain to them, right? And I think if they take Ruben Bain, then they're in a good spot. They got another first-round pick. They're going to be rebuilding. I love what the Jets' new GM, who came in, I think, last year, has been doing for them as of late. Got rid of Sauce, got rid of Quinnen, got 3 first-round picks. Now they have a number 2 overall pick. They could really make a splash this season and next in the draft, and I really think they're on the right track to rebuilding this team. They have some pieces already, and adding Bain is a big piece to add to the team.
Yeah, I mean, that offense has already got a good structure there for a quarterback.
The
Their offensive line is
insane.
really young. They're all really good. And then you obviously have Garrett Wilson. I don't know what's going to happen with Breece Hall, so you probably have to figure out running back. But, yeah.
Yeah,
I
Breece
think they
Hall's just
definitely
such a
need to-
weird situation.
Yeah, I just think they definitely need to pick defense here at 2.
Yeah, and I think that, because the defense has a ton of holes, but I think Ruben Bain is just the best defensive player, besides Downs, obviously, but for the value and stuff. So it's a very good pick for them, I think. If you made it to this point in the video, you should subscribe. You're probably enjoying the video. We make tons of content like this every single week, so we really appreciate it. Back to the video, guys. Moving on to 3. I don't remember who we had taking last time for the Cardinals, but I know that tackle is obviously a very big need for them on the other side of Paris Johnson. They need somebody there that can block. I mean, anyone. Edge is also a pretty big need for them. They could use an edge. Ruben Bain's already off the board, which is probably the best edge.
Yeah.
So I'm leading tackle here. Because I just think it makes more sense for them. I think they'd rather go tackle, shore up this offensive line for the future quarterback of the team that hopefully they get next year, I'd assume. You've got an insane receiving core between Marv, Michael, and Trey McBride. So you can really, and if you believe in Trey Benson still, which you obviously do,
Yeah.
then you could really have this offense just become an insane situation for a quarterback to be put into. And obviously the defense has pieces there too. And really, when we did our Fixing the Cardinals video, I feel like they really didn't have that many holes.
Yeah.
You know, the biggest hole was tackle, that second tackle spot or edge. And so really it comes down to those two. And if Ruben Bain's here, you really have your pick of a litter. And there's a really good chance that ends up happening for them. They just get to pick whoever the frick they want. But I think I'm just going to go Maui Noah here. I think it makes the most sense for them. You got back-to-back Miami players going off the board in the top 3, which is pretty crazy. But I think it just makes the most sense to get a tackle of his caliber on the other side. Now you have a great young tackle duo for the future. And again, this offense is in an insane spot to set up your future quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, from a talent perspective, this is definitely the best team in the top 6 for sure, maybe even more.
I'd say top 8.
Yeah, I mean, they're just a really talented team, and obviously there's no quarterback worth taking here, especially with
Obviously not, yeah.
What's it, Dante Moore going back to college.
So unless you want to reach on Ty Simpson by about 3 rounds,
Well, 3 rounds is crazy.
yeah, that was a little dramatic, but you know what I'm saying.
I mean, they're in a good spot to get Simpson.
If they want
Early
him in the second round, yeah. I really do think Simpson's going to go in the first. I really do.
I don't know. I mean,
He's going to go 13 to the Rams. I saw somebody say that.
no,
so.
that's insane. But with that thing that you said that one time, like, oh, he got good feedback from scouts.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, if he goes at 35, I still think that's like worth coming out. So
Yeah, I definitely want to go that high next year. So.
yeah, so
Yeah, no, I think this is just a good pick for the Cardinals, though, overall. And now you got the Titans on the board.
I think Robert Saleh wants to fix his defense.
Yeah.
There is 2 very, very popular options here. Arvell Reese is normally the pick at 2. He's a favorite at 2. He's rarely on the board here.
Mm-hmm.
And David Bailey kind of fits that Robert Saleh archetype that he normally likes to go after. I definitely think they need to improve pass rush, so I'm going to take one of them too because you got Arden Key and Oladejo.
Yeah.
They're 2 pass rushers, so definitely got to get that figured out. Is there any other options? I guess Caleb Downs could make sense. I don't think that's what they would do.
Yeah, it doesn't. It feels weird.
But I'm going to go with Arvell Reese. I think he's going to be taken very
Interesting.
early in this draft because of his hybrid
Abilities.
flexibility. You know, he can play off ball, he can play edge, super athletic, and he kind of does fit what Saleh wants.
Wasn't he
as
not
like
good
an
in
undersized
off-ball?
guy. Yeah, but that doesn't matter. A lot of people, I haven't really
People
watched
love
him.
Arvell
I've
Reese.
seen like a lot of clips. I've seen, missed tackles, PFF grade. So I'm not gonna make like a crazy
76
take
PFF.
about
PFF grade is crazy for a guy supposed to go 2.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna make like an insane hot take about Arvell Reese right now.
Mm-hmm.
Just doesn't really make sense to me yet. I have to watch him. I'm excited to watch him. He's one of the players that I think I will learn most by watching. But
6'4", 243 for a guy who can play off ball is pretty crazy.
For edge, though, that's super undersized.
But it's massive for inside, like just massive.
Is it, though? I mean, it's like, what, 10 pounds?
Dude, Owen Papa was 5'10". This guy's 6'4".
It's a big difference.
It's a huge difference. And do you say 10 pounds? I feel like usually
235? Is that not 230?
That's like 225, but maybe I'm
I feel
sure.
like even 225 might be a bit undersized. Sonny Styles is a bit undersized. He's 243, so yeah, that's what I was thinking. Well, it's like undersized because he's 6'4".
He's not undersized. He's just not dense.
Yeah, he's not dense for a linebacker.
That's just not the same thing as undersized for a linebacker.
Well, he's not undersized, but like underweight.
He's only 6'4". He's pretty undersized.
Well, that's one of his things is he struggles sometimes, getting off blocks of linemen, but because he's.
I think a lot of linebackers are going to struggle with that because they're all going to be shorter than like an edge or a DT but anyway, a little side tangent. Yeah, I don't know. Arvell Reese is a weird player to me because people really like him with no context behind it besides like he's athletic and someone told me he's going to go 2. It's kind of what it feels like to me. So it would be a really weird draft if we see Mendoza and Reese go 1 and 2 in my opinion, just because it's like these are not the players that ever go 1 and 2 in drafts. So I don't know. I think it'd be kind of interesting. But moving to number 5 at the Giants. I mean, we always look at DB here, right? And I think that's what we're going to continue to do. You got to look at DB. Obviously, they need a corner pretty bad. Safety room's not terrible with Holland specifically, but I think that the DBs were just so underwhelming this season. So underwhelming, dude. Like, they had so much young talent. And they could always bounce back, of course, but don't love their coaching hire, so maybe I don't necessarily trust them to do that. So, I'm looking at 2 guys. I'm obviously looking at Mansour Delane, and then I'm looking at Caleb Downs here. I think those are the 2 guys that this is really between. I really see them going DB here. I see a lot of people talking about wide receiver 2, but wide receiver 2 at 5 feels a little rich for my blood. So I don't know if that's really. I mean, I could see it. Like, don't get me wrong, I could see it, but I just don't know how likely it is. It doesn't feel like the biggest. It doesn't feel like as big of a need, and it feels like you can get just as talented, if not more talented, of a player here at 5. I went Mansour Delane last time that I did this, so I'm going to take Caleb Downs here. Caleb Downs can play the safety, next to Holland if needed, and even though it's not the biggest need in the world, with Newbin, I think that he could move into a slot, obviously, and play there. Like, he can just move all around. Like, at Ohio State, he played everywhere for this football team. And I think he can do that on the Giants, and they can really find a place for him no matter what. I mean, this is arguably the most talented player outside of positional value in the class. So when you have a DB problem, taking him is pretty helpful.
Yeah, I mean, taking a borderline generational player at 5, it's a very good value. I don't think it's kind of weird just because I don't know how much the Giants actually need a safety/slot because they have Drew Phillips, who's basically exclusively plays in the slot.
Who was not good.
I mean, you gotta hope he's good because he was good his rookie year. So
yeah, but he wasn't. He was terrible in his second year.
He was not terrible. He just wasn't very good.
He was like one of the worst corners.
It's not true.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Their best corner was who? Flott?
Yeah.
And then they had Adebo really struggle, Phillips really struggle.
Phillips was probably their second best.
And Deontay Banks really struggle. So they all just sucked.
And then Tyler Newbin at safety is probably their second best secondary player right now.
Yeah, but like that's not necessarily a good
I obviously like taking Downs here. Probably the best player in the class, but
yeah, well, exactly.
It's just rough for them that it's kind of like their best, maybe their best position in the secondary is the one with the best value.
Yeah, but you don't pass on generational player because your bad secondary's biggest strength or second biggest strength is the position. Like, it's your second biggest strength in a bad secondary. We're not passing on a generational guy so that we can keep Riley Moss. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just not how it works. Even though Riley Moss wasn't that bad in a lot of situations, he showed some promise here and there, and you're like, oh, he could be good. You don't pass on a guy like that, right? So I think they would easily kick Drew Phillips to the side if it meant playing Caleb Downs, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But I could also see them taking Mansour Delane and not doing that. Like, I just think it depends how much they value this position because everyone knows that Caleb Downs is the better player of the two. Right? Yeah. I think we can all agree on that. He is the better player of the two. It just depends how much you value his position because obviously outside corner is a lot more important than like a safety/slot. Moving on to 6, though. Who you got for the Browns?
I feel like they're kind of locked into a receiver here, especially if Noah's off the board. I think, at the end of the day, I don't know how many. We'll probably take Carnell Tate here, but what?
At the end of the day, it's night.
Wow. At the end of the day, Carnell Tate's probably going to be the number 1 receiver in this class just because he fits the prototypical number 1. He's like 6'3", 190 something. He moves really well for that size. Change direction's really good. Just really everything about him. He moves. So can I give like a comp here of how he just moves so smoothly at that size? And then you got like Jordan Tyson. Can he stay healthy? Mekhi Lemon's the other guy in that conversation. Is he just a slot? I don't know if that's going to be able to go at 6. So I think Carl Tay at the end of the day is going to be the wide receiver 1 off the board.
Yeah. I think that's a completely valid take. And the Browns could really use a wide receiver. So I think this is definitely a good pick if he can work out. There is that concern. I think they each have their own concern, each of the 3 receivers. You already mentioned the other 2s. But I think Carnell Tate's big concern is that he was a 2 for his college career. He's playing next to maybe what's going to be the best prospect in the history of his league, which is insane. But, I mean, that is what people act like he is that are on the inside, which is just so crazy to think about. But he played next to him his whole career. I mean, that's pretty helpful to boost your stock because the whole defense is going to be focused on the other guy, right? And I think that's maybe not being talked about quite enough. There's going to be a big difference when he goes to the Browns and he's the only guy that they're focused on, right?
Yeah, but he did really shine in that number 2 role as like
but
the second option.
He's not going to a number 2 role.
Yeah, but I'm saying he was good enough to show us, this guy can be taken in the top 10 he wasn't even like the focal point of the offense at all.
I'm not saying that he's not good. That's not what I'm saying at all. But I think that he could very much struggle to translate to the NFL, where he's not only translating like from receiver to playing way better corners to playing higher speed, a more advanced offense, but he also has to worry about translating to a number 1 positional role. That's 2 transitions that are both extremely hard, and he's got to do them at the same time. And I think that could be very difficult for him. Moving on to 7, though. I think I took Caleb Downs last time I did this pick, but he's obviously not here. Looking at their team, I mean, you could always look at corner. I think that corner is a problem for them. Sanders still took a huge step back this season. He was not good, especially in that first half of the year. From his rookie season where he was a lot better. And then you've got, is Lattimore still starting?
We have Trey Amos.
Is Lattimore still playing? Are they planning to play him or no?
No, they're not wanting to play him anymore.
Thank God, because he was.
I think he's getting cut.
He was awful. Already. Yeah, you obviously have Trey Amos, who you want to work out. You got that young, developmental guy. He showed some flashes, but you need him to develop a lot, obviously. And I think they knew that when they took him, is that he was a developmental guy. So if you still believe in Sanders, still obviously, which you probably can't give up on him after one bad year, although maybe you should. But I think that you could still strongly consider corner at this spot. I think you can consider edge. David Bailey's still here, which is kind of interesting. I don't know why, but looking at David Bailey, he feels like a commander to me. I don't know if that's just weird, but looking at his name on here, it feels like a commander to me. And then I think that I think that you're really looking at defense here if you're me. You could also go linebacker. You got like Sonny Styles. They could really use a linebacker right now. Bobby Wagner might be retiring. He might be leaving. Who really knows what's going on with that whole situation? But this is just a great spot for them, in my opinion, because especially with how our board has fallen, God, you need defense bad. And I think even without our boards not falling, I think they probably have the best pick in this top 10 for the positional, for their needs, because I think they're going to get any player they want almost. Right? Because they have so many needs on defense that they can just take anyone in the top 10 and they're completely fine. Because you could go David Bailey, you can go Ruben Bain if he falls, you can go Sonny Styles, you can go Caleb Downs, you can go Mansour Delane, you can literally, and that's a huge positional upgrade for every single one of those. So literally it does not matter who you take, it is a huge positional upgrade. So I'm just going to go David Bailey here, change it up this time. I think that they could really use edge help. People really like David Bailey. He's got a 93 PFF grade, which is kind of insane. And I haven't watched too much of David Bailey myself, but he's risen so much. He's been absolutely loved. I've seen him going a lot to the Jets. I know you talked about why that doesn't make too much sense, but I've seen it a lot in mock drafts. So just an insane value pick as of right now for the Commanders here, and a huge positional need.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, the best Dorrance Armstrong had a strong start to the season, but outside of him, do they have another edge rusher you're okay playing?
Right.
Jacob Martin, I think, is the other guy.
Oh.
He honestly, down the stretch, I think I watched the game and he was pretty good. But
He played one game for the Broncos, I think.
That's it.
Like played.
I remember
he did not
from
play.
The Jets, right?
Yeah, he did not play much.
Yeah.
Holy gridiron. Whatever what's that game called?
Immaculate Grid.
Immaculate Grid. That's a great Immaculate Grid pool. But yeah, I think Dave Bailey makes sense for the Commanders here.
Yeah.
Going to 8.
Wait, you don't want to take Akeem Messidor to the Commanders?
That would make sense actually. I was gonna say, why are you bringing this up? But then it does make sense. Just make the team
even
the
our
oldest team
make
it
old.
Yeah.
Bring the average up.
All right, who you got at 8 for the Saints?
So the common picks are like Jeremiah Love, maybe a Jordan Tyson to help the offense. Defensively, I think is where they should focus. They have Sonny Styles still on the board. You got both corners, Peter Woods, Caleb Banks has risen recently, Keldrick Falk, got all the potential in the world.
Why do people not talk about corner more for this team?
That's what I was about to take.
Oh.
Because their cornerback 1 right now is Kool-Aid McKinstry, and their corner 2 is
Alontae Taylor, right?
Alontae Taylor, who is up for contract extension.
Oh, okay.
And if he's there, your CB3 is Isaac Yadam still, maybe?
Dude, he still plays?
Yeah, he played for them last year.
Dude,
he was really good 2 years ago for them randomly out of nowhere.
I thought it was for the Niners he was good.
No, it was for the Saints.
I feel like he was pretty solid on the Niners for a little while.
He was also on the Packers the year before he went to the Saints.
Really? Dude, he's been
sure.
everywhere. Are you sure? I don't
Pretty
think he's
sure.
been on their team. Maybe
I think he was.
We're gonna have to look that up.
I don't think he played the whole year.
He played for the. He started on the Broncos. Did you know that?
How old is this dude?
He's not that old. I feel like we got to look. Maybe we're thinking of two different players because I know he started on the Broncos and he's been on the Saints. I used him in Immaculate Grid. Speaking of Immaculate Grid,
wow.
So I know for a fact that he was. But he was like, I remember him in Madden 20. I had him on like the bottom of the depth chart as my corner. He didn't even have a picture. Like he didn't have a face because he was so bad for the Broncos.
Wow, that's embarrassing.
But I would always do a Broncos rebuild, so I know for a fact he was on the Broncos, and he never played for us really. Like he got in the game like if injuries or like very like garbage time or something. So, but yeah, let's get a look at Isaac Yadam.
Just wanted to look at his
what
career
team
path quickly.
Yeah. I don't.
So he did have 19 solo tackles for the Saints. We probably started. Yeah, he did play for all those teams and the Giants. Broncos 2018, 2019, Giants 2020, Packers 2021, Saints 2022, 2023, Niners 2024, and Saints 2025.
Jeez. Wow.
I think it was his 2023 with the Saints was his best year.
I thought he was pretty solid in 2024.
Yeah, maybe.
The
They probably got hurt and he probably got in the game.
Yeah, that does sound right.
But
But
I'm going to take Delane because
yeah, I think that's a great pick.
I still think, I don't know which corner I will end up liking better, but both are obviously very good prospects. Delane's a lot safer. He's a technician.
He actually played this year.
I think he's a little undersized, not the best athlete, but his tape is really good.
And he played this season.
Yeah, and he played this year, and he's not coming off an ACL tear.
Playing this season is a big plus. So
yeah, and CB1 of Kool-Aid McKinstry is not what you want. So
yeah, I mean this is an amazing pick for them. I think looking down the board, it would have been interesting if we didn't take him because I actually think the Rams would have ended up with a corner. One of the two. We'll see, but I think that Delane's obviously an amazing prospect, and like I said, I just don't get why more people aren't talking about the Saints having this need. At 8, you can get probably at least one of the two guys, right?
Yeah.
And I think that might be the best pick for them. It's much better of a pick than taking a running back, in my opinion, when you can fill up a way bigger need and get an amazing player still. So I think that's really interesting that everyone's talking about Jeremiah Love so much, but I guess we'll see what they do in a couple of months. Moving on to 9 to the Chiefs. I mean, everybody's favorite pick for the Chiefs is here. You got Jeremiah Love still on the board. Obviously, a huge need for the Chiefs. They have wide receiver written on here as a need. Don't think I agree with that.
I mean,
you're not taking.
I think they need size in that room. If they traded back and somehow got like Denzel Boston, I think that'd be a great pick.
I just don't see them using a first-round pick on a wide receiver when they have two guys they really like. in the receiving room already. Obviously, that would make their receiving room become elite, but you don't use a first-round pick on making a room that's good into elite, if that makes sense. A lot of the time, unless you're like stacked everywhere, which I don't think this team is. I think they have holes. You could obviously look at tackle. People really like to complain about their tackles. Jawan Taylor's obviously horrible. So I think that's an interesting pick with the way the board's falling, because guess who's still here? Spencer Fano. So you could take him. Obviously, we talked about Jeremiah Love already. I'm not taking wide receiver. You could go interior D-line. Chris Jones is going to be gone pretty soon. You've got Peter Woods. You've got Caleb Banks on the board, who you said risen a lot lately. So I think this is a good spot for them. They have a lot of picks. There's obviously a chance that Ruben Bain's still here at this pick. So they can go a lot of different ways. But I'm going to go a way that I didn't expect, in a way that I think most people didn't expect. I'm going to go Spencer Fano and to the Chiefs. And I know it sounds a bit strange, but if you really think about it, I think it makes a lot of sense. People really think this offensive line was a big reason they sucked this season. I don't know if I necessarily agree, but the Chiefs seem to. Mahomes have taken a lot more hits the last couple of seasons. Obviously, Jawan Taylor is horrible at the tackle position, so you want to get somebody else in there. And I think that you can get a good tackle who maybe Mahomes was going to – maybe Mahomes going to like that. He's coming off an ACL too, so you're going to really want to protect him and make this offense elite again. And the Chiefs 100% want to put their faith in a guy like Mahomes. Everyone does in the league, so they're going to want to protect him at all costs. And I think coming off that ACL could be a huge reason they want to look at offensive line this season.
If Fano works out, top 3 offensive line, because they have – they just drafted Josh Simmons, left tackle. He looked good. Yeah. He's injured a lot. Sumatia, they picked to be their left tackle of the future 2 years ago, I think, as more of a project guy. He's developed really nicely into a guard for them. You got Trey Smith and Creed Humphrey, 2 of the best interior linemen in the NFL. That's a complete unit.
The problem is, people don't take this the wrong way, but Mahomes does struggle stepping up into the pocket. I think he loves rolling out, making magic happen. When he steps up, I think is where he does his worst work, which is kind of funny. Like, he's way worse in the pocket than he is outside. And so having a guy like Jawan Taylor on the right side really hurts Mahomes.
He loves rolling right, too.
He loves rolling right, so it really hurts Mahomes. And I think that that's also, by the way, where he gets towards ACL, was rolling right. He got hit. So I really do think this is going to be if Spencer Fano's here, I think this is going to be a tough decision for them, and I think they really would strongly consider it. And we want to shake these up. We're going to be doing a lot of mock drafts at the offseason. We want to shake these up, and I really do think that this is just a possibility that I really haven't seen talked about too much.
Yeah.
So I wanted to throw it out there, but we can move on to number 10, to the Bengals.
I'm going to take Mekhi Lemon here.
Whoa.
Just kidding.
Oh, I was like, huh?
Just kidding. Do not do that.
Dude, how funny would that be?
Well, I think he fits their receiver room really well.
Obviously, but that would become the best receiver room of all time.
Yeah.
I don't think
it'd be
close.
Interesting, but
dude, what if they just say frick defense? We're just gonna go score 50 a game.
Yeah.
That actually is interesting.
I don't know. I thought about that.
Is it crazy to say that that's a possibility?
It is, but it's not a good team building decision at all.
No, but I think it's knowing the Bengals, they just drove to what was it, $80 million on the 2 receivers. they could throw a first round pick at another one.
All right, what is priority number 1 for the Bengals?
Defense.
Is it keeping Burrow upright or is it defense?
I mean, Burrow.
Who are their guards?
Burrow's gonna take a lot of sacks no matter what, if we're being honest.
But he's the guy who wants to step up in the pocket.
Very true.
So I'm going to take Vega here at 10.
Whoa!
He's a very, very toolsy guard who's shown a lot of polish. And obviously he's going later, but a lot of that's because, who wants to spend a first-round pick on a guard? But this is kind of the range where guards typically go. They go higher than you think. Oh, what's the Cowboys dude? Tyler Smith? No, Trey Smith. Which Smith?
It's Tyler Smith.
Okay, Tyler Smith. Okay. He went at 10. Right. Or is that Tyler Smith? Tyler Smith, I think that's their tackle. That's not who I'm talking about. Or their other guard. I'm talking about the Bama guard last year. There's too many Smiths.
Tyler Booker?
Tyler Booker. Oh, it's Tyler, not Smith.
What are you talking about, bro?
Oh, dude, it's Tyler, not Smith.
I was who are you talking about?
Yeah, whatever. Tyler Booker.
You caught on Smith for 50 minutes just to say Tyler Booker, bro.
Dude, I forgot it was the Tylers that they dropped. Not
I think his name's Tyler. I know his last name's Booker.
Tyler Booker. Dude, it's just
Anyway.
I can't get it straight anymore. Anyway, he went at 12. He was a much worse prospect than Vegas, so I think right here it's a good pick for them, especially if they spend some money on defense in the offseason.
I mean, yeah, Vega's obviously an amazing prospect. Been mocked to the Ravens from us a couple times, and been mocked to the Chargers a lot if he's ends up falling. But I think this is a team that definitely would like to take him if they can. So yeah, it's shocking me, but I like the pick. Moving on to 11. This is a super interesting board because at 11 we still have Jeremiah Love, Sonny Styles, Mekhi Lemon, and Jermod McCoy.
3 top 6 players in the draft.
The class. But this is a very very reasonable scenario. It's very interesting because I think that this is just so hard here at 11 because I just feel like you have to go corner every time, but I want to stop going corner because I think we've gone it every time. But like this is so hard because their corner room is so bad. Like I feel like they're just guaranteed going corner if McCoy or Delane is here. If either one's here, they're just automatically like you might as well just
but
not
it's
start
the Packers guys. Do they value corner?
That's
they
true.
want a pass rush.
Yeah, but they
went out, spent 2 first-round picks.
Who are they going to take at pass rush? Do you want them to take Cassius Howell?
Dude, I think if I was betting right now who they take, that's who I'm picking. Dude, it makes sense.
Dude, just because they have 2 people on their entire staff that also worked at the Packers.
It's like all the Packers staff.
That also worked.
No, but it's the people, it's the decision makers.
That also worked at the Packers.
Decision makers.
They did not make the final decision.
They helped. They were a big part of the decision.
Right, that doesn't mean they made it.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Insane to say, but they're just automatically going to use the exact same draft philosophy.
It's not like that's like
as the Packers
draft strategy. It's not like one of our draft strategies. It's like the
draft
because
you guys
strategy.
are bad at drafting, and that's on the GM. That's not on this guy. So I don't think
he learned under the GM.
I'm not taking Keldrick Folk just because he worked with a guy who would have taken Keldrick Folk. Like that's just stupid to me. That's stupid to me.
Okay.
And I think that that's like me being like, well, at 2. You should never take Arvell Reese. And you'd be like, why? And it'd be like, well, because Patton would never take Arvell Reese there.
Why not? He makes he's a guy that Patton would probably draft.
No, Patton would never draft a guy like that. It makes no sense. Patton wouldn't ever draft a guy like that.
Didn't he draft Baron Browning?
No.
Nick Bonito?
He did draft Nick Bonito because
if Nick Bonito played off ball, I think he'd be very
Did he draft Browning? I don't know. Browning was a late round pick or later.
He's a 3rd round pick.
Yeah, that's later.
I'm saying
it's very you're
not the same players here.
Bonito
but
was
they
basically
are similar archetypes.
Bonito was the second to last pick, the last pick of a 2nd round.
Yeah, well, obviously Bonito's not close to the prospect.
This is 2.
I'm saying
it's
the
very
archetype,
different.
not the
in
level
the first
of
round.
play.
He would never take that archetype. It makes no sense.
Why?
Because the value's not there. He wants to take best player available, not risk. Like, that's who Patton is. He doesn't care about positioning either. Like, he just takes best player available. He took Surtain when everyone thought we didn't need a corner, and everyone thought we should have taken Fields. And he took, whatever his name is, Barron last year, when everyone didn't. Like, no one expected it. Because
all right, I'll be taking Cisse in this draft for the Broncos.
Why?
Best player available.
You think he'll be the best player available at 30? My point being that's just a dumb philosophy to have, just because he worked under another guy. Because you want to use your own philosophy when you get a job for yourself, right? You don't want to just trust a guy, especially when you've seen it hasn't worked.
I don't know.
You've seen it hasn't worked for
come back to me when it ends up happening.
Everyone that's seen every time he's been there, that pick never has worked for the Packers. And it hasn't,
unless he was there for Gary.
And it hasn't gotten them anywhere.
They definitely think Gary worked.
But it also hasn't gotten them anywhere. So I don't know why he would think, let me continue doing that. When the corner room is so bad. They're obviously, getting back to the Dolphins, they're obviously trying to reset here.
Mm-hmm.
They just released Tyreek. They just released Daniels. They just released Chubb. Nick Westbrook-Akine, I guess. So they released a lot of players. They're trying to reset. I just feel like they want to go defense, and I feel like they want to go corner. Obviously, receiver is a big need right now. Waddle, there's a good chance Waddle's gone by the start of next year, in my opinion. I think he could definitely get traded this offseason. You disagree he could get traded this offseason?
No, he's not getting traded.
It's an insane take.
Okay, so you want your wide receiver 1 to be Malik Washington. They would not do that.
Why do you think he was a candidate to get traded so heavily at the trade deadline?
because they sucked. This new regime thinks that they can win
some
games.
Oh my
they
God,
think
bro.
that they can find their quarterback.
They don't think they can make the playoffs this year. They don't. They know that they can't. They've seen that, so they're not gonna I think there's a very good chance that Waddle gets traded. If they're
doesn't make any sense.
They're resetting right now. It doesn't make sense.
Waddle's 24.
Okay, it doesn't make sense. I don't think he's that young.
25 max.
I don't. It doesn't make sense to get rid of Tyreek if you think you can win right now. You can't. You
maybe
know
they
that.
think they can win in 2 years.
I
Waddle
just
will
really
still
don't
be in
think
his
so.
prime.
And I don't think they want to pay Waddle when they can't
They
really
already paid
afford
him.
it. Right. That's what trading him would do. I don't feel like you're keeping up with what I'm saying at all, but trading him would get him off their payroll. He would get them reset, get them extra draft picks, and start rebuilding.
I don't think you
they
understand.
are very far out
Waddle
from
is
rebuild.
not going for a very good pick.
He's
going for
like a second.
A third, maybe?
I think he could go for a second very easily.
He's not going for a second.
But I think that is definitely an opportunity they would explore. But either way, they need a wide receiver too bad. And so I don't know. I think this is a really weird pick. But we've spent way too long on the Dolphins pick, not really talking about the Dolphins. But I'm just going to – I feel like I have to just take Jermon McCoy. I mean, he's just by far their best fit here, so I'm just going to do it.
Ty Simpson?
I want to take I want to take someone else, but I just can't. Like, you can't pass on this when your number one corner right now is Storm Duck, man. Like, dude, his name's Storm Duck.
And then he tore his ACL.
You might not have a corner 3 in your room. Outside corner 3, obviously Kidder who's pretty good, but he plays in the slot, and so it's just not a good situation for them at corner, and this completely fixes. Well, not completely fixes, but
whoa.
But like this just is a huge Band-Aid on the situation. So I'm gonna go Jermon McCoy. I wanted to save him. I low-key want the Rams to take him, but I'm gonna take him here.
All right, Cowboys at 12.
Jeremiah Love. No.
Dream scenario. They can either pick Jeremiah Love.
No, that's
if they don't re-sign Javonte.
Why would they not re-sign Javonte?
It's reported that they want to, but Sonny Styles also. If you really like Jeremiah Love, you're not letting Javonte stop you.
I mean, he was very good this last season, but
Jeremiah Love's a lot better.
Well, obviously, but
they could take Peter Woods.
I don't think
their
my
DTs
point,
aren't that good.
If you have Javonte, you're not taking Jeremiah Love.
Yeah, but we don't know yet, so I can do whatever I want.
Okay, we can assume.
I don't think Sonny Styles makes as much sense as everyone else. Like, I think it makes sense.
Folk.
I think Sonny Styles makes sense, but having Overshown already in there, like, they need another guy. They need to go out and sign a veteran, in my opinion, next to Overshown.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not the best. I feel like I want to take Jeremiah Love, but there's a chance that the pick just doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense. I think it makes no sense at all. What about Keldrick Folk here?
Why do you want him off the board so bad?
I mean, you could take Edge. That's all I'm saying.
It's about he's not here, bro. I'm just gonna take Sonny Styles.
Interesting.
After all that,
after he said it doesn't make any sense.
No, I didn't say that. I said it made sense, but it doesn't make as much sense as everyone else is thinking. I think it's a conversation if he's there, just because you already have a star linebacker.
Right.
But having two,
does that really help?
I mean, who's their DC? I know they just. Oh, they got the Eagles DB coach who's supposed to be really good.
Oh.
So.
Well, I think it's Sorry, I think it's a weird pick, but
great player.
I mean,
talent.
It's obviously a very high value pick. It's just a weird pick because, like you said, they already have Overshown, and so I don't know how much I think that they look edge most likely. Would be my guess, but
they're in a bad spot for edge.
But I don't know. I think they are in a bad spot for edge, but I could definitely see them taking Keldrick Folk. Definitely. But moving on to the Rams. You know, Mekhi Lemon always seems to be here for the Rams.
Mm-hmm. Who are you going to go with?
I know that people really think Mekhi Lemon's going here. I think it's the exact same situation. Well, not the exact same. It's obviously a little bit makes a little bit more sense as the Bengals, though, where like there's just no need, but they just want to do it because it's like builds an OP offense. But everyone thinks that this is like super likely, and if we said the Bengals one, Bengals could take Mekhi Lemon, people would think we're like absolutely insane.
Yeah, it's because the Bengals have 11 players they could draft on defense, 11 positions, I mean, and they have
There's not 11 positions.
You know what I mean? Like strong safety, like 11 starting positions.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever. Like 7 starters they need to fill on defense.
Yeah.
And like 4 on offense, all offensive line.
Yeah, well, the Rams could use a corner really badly. But I don't like taking Terrell here. We've talked about this every single time. He's just a developmental guy. He's so young. He's raw. It just doesn't make much sense to me because they kind of just need a guy who can play right now. Like, they're competing for a Super Bowl right now, so it doesn't make the most sense. I just don't know what else. On here it says needs our quarterback, which is kind of funny.
Well,
I get what they're saying.
The future is a need.
And I've seen Ty Simpson go here. Maybe that's an option. If someone's going to reach on him, I don't think it's that unlikely. It's the Rams at tackle. I don't.
No, they don't.
That's what it says. I know. I'm just reading their needs on here, which I think is kind of funny. And then corner, obviously. But again, I just don't know a corner I want to take. You're obviously not taking Cisse here. It's way too high. I don't know. Their defense is just good all around. Like, that's how I feel. Is they're just really good. Let's take Jeremiah. No, I'm just kidding. Imagine you took Jeremiah. They have a 2 running back committee they already like. So I guess I have to take Mekhi Lemon here. But I don't like it, people. I don't
it won't happen. It won't happen.
It
takes him in every single mock draft.
It will not happen.
Yeah, dude, you take him in every mock draft.
That's because nothing else makes sense on paper, but they will take someone else. They'll take, like, Peter Woods or something. Like, they'll just take somebody that you don't expect that they might
you take Peter Woods.
That they might have a player at that position already, but they can have another one, make their defense even deeper or make their offense even deeper, or upgrade somewhere. But I just don't think they take Mekhi Lemon. I don't think it makes sense. I think they like what they have. I could even see them taking Ty Simpson. I do not see them taking Mekhi Lemon.
Ty Simpson was on the board, so you could have taken him.
Yeah, but
what a prediction.
I know, but people really would hate it. I don't think Mekhi Lemon is likely, but
Why would you take the best receiver in the draft at 13?
Yeah, I just don't think they will. I'm not saying it's a bad pick. I think it's a good pick. I just don't think it happens. This never, ever, 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 ever happens.
Normally, a team that has pretty much no needs is not picking at 13.
Do you think the team with the best receiving core of all time? Sorry. Whoa. Holy glaze. I meant the best receiving duo.
It might be after they make this pick.
Right. I think that's what was in my head. What I was saying is the best receiving duo in the NFL.
Chase and T. Higgins.
I think it's Puka and Devontae. And I think that I don't think the team with the best duo has ever made a first-round pick that was a receiver.
Devontae's 32.
Okay. Cool. Is Devontae playing this season?
Yeah,
that's what I thought.
One season.
So
they see what's with best player available. What's wrong with that?
I don't think it's that. I think it's a good pick. I just am saying they won't make it. I don't think you're understanding that.
Okay, with the predictive mock draft, you're supposed to predict.
Okay, well, my prediction would be someone random, and I don't want to just take someone random. I really don't think that we have any idea of who they're taking as of right now.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna go with consensus. But move to 14. You got the Ravens.
I mean, it's always a question. Vegas off the board. Do you want D-line or receiver? For defensive line, it's just like, is Madubuike playing? Which I have no idea, but you're paying him a lot of money. You just extended Travis Jones. I think that you take Jordan Tyson here. He's kind of like the mold of receiver that has been working lately with, JSN. You got Jamar Chase. He's kind of moves like those guys. And he's a guy that if you have a good offensive coordinator, do you know who theirs is?
No,
I don't know. He's a guy that he'll be an offensive coordinator's best friend. And obviously right now, Mekhi Lemon isn't on the board, but if he was, I think Tyson and Tate both make more sense just because you already have Zay Flowers, who's very undersized.
Wait a minute.
Hmm? What?
Sorry, I'm curious because how does that make sense?
What?
Carnell Tate played 30-something less snaps than Jordan Tyson this season.
Okay.
Jordan Tyson was hurt this season again.
He got hurt at the end of the year. How many games did Tyson play?
9.
9?
And he had 30 more.
30 more snaps?
30 more pass snaps.
Yeah.
I just find that a little strange because everyone's so worried about his injury thing, but Carnell Tate played less.
Yeah, he wasn't hurt.
He only played 11 games.
Played for Ohio State. They blew people out, and he didn't play. He didn't play in the second half.
Well, he still played in only 11 games, which means he did miss some. But I just thought that was weird. I was just looking at it. I was a little confused because Jordan Tyson somehow ended up playing more, but everyone's like super concerned about.
Yeah, because Tyson's been hurt 4 years in a row.
He played 12 games last season.
Yeah, he got hurt last season at the end.
Oh.
He's torn his ACL at least once. He had some other leg injury. Anyway, basically every year he gets hurt.
Yeah, but I don't know. I just thought it was weird, so I was just looking at it. But because it was surprising. Like, yeah, obviously they blow teams out, but it is just a little strange that he played more. It makes sense now that I think about it more, but I just noticed it because I for some reason looked at like Carnell Tate's earlier, like when we were drafting him. It popped up and I somehow remembered it and was just like, whoa. Anyway, sorry for that side tangent. We got the Bucs at 15. That's an interesting one. I think, did you take Sadiq last time? I was going to say. I mean, they might re-sign Kate Otten, but if they don't, huge need there. Guard already off the board, even though they could use interior help. Edge. You could look at edge here for the Bucs. They could use a linebacker if you want. What's his name? Levante David is very old now. Sonny Styles off the board, but you still have sorry, I'm totally blanking on his name. C.J. Allen, yes. You still have C.J. Allen, and then obviously last need on here is corner. I don't know how much I agree with that.
I mean, Jamel Dean.
I wouldn't take one here for them.
Jacob Parrish.
I don't think.
Zion McCollum.
I think there's one more.
Is there?
More decent corner.
Benjamin Morrison they took in the second round last year.
I just don't think that makes too much sense. I think we talked about interior D-line before here because you obviously have Vita Vea. But you could use more help on the D-line. I think
they
more
have
at edge,
Cansey
though.
As well.
Yeah, so
I
think more at edge probably.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's probably the way I'm going to look here. Obviously, somehow Cassius Howell's ranked ahead of Folk on here, even though he's got like the tiniest arms ever.
The NFL, I think, will not think that Cassius Howell's better.
Yeah, so, but I mean, they could use edge help. I think I'm just going to take Keldrick Folk here. I don't really like the idea of taking a athletic edge that's just like raw. I've never liked that idea, but he's going to go high somewhere. And so we've taken him a bunch of different spots now. I think we're just kind of throwing him out randomly when there's not really the best fit, but a team could use an edge, if that makes sense. And I think that's exactly what it's going to be. A team, like their number one player went off the board and Keldrick Folk's here. So let's take Keldrick Folk and take a chance, which is so stupid, but I think it's what's probably going to happen.
I mean, he's a similar mold to like Michael Williams, Lucas Van Ness. These athletic edge rushers who are supposed to be like great run defenders.
Some great players that really worked out.
Yeah, well, they learned how to rush the passer. I mean, they never do. If you're taking an athletic guy, the way you use athleticism in the NFL is going to be pass rushing. You don't really use your, athleticism in run defense. So these guys, if there is an athletic freak and he's a good pass rusher, I think that's when you pull the trigger, not on these guys that are like run defenders.
I think in almost every position, a big problem that people don't realize is like people are just like, well, we can just teach him how to use athleticism because the only thing is he doesn't know how to use it. Dude, he's 22 years old and he still doesn't know how to use it. You're not teaching him now.
Well, you can.
It's very, very, very small chance to reteach him everything he knows into the way that he's supposed to know it. Because ultimately, what with these super athletic guys that really don't show that they know what they're doing with it, what that means to me is they grew up more athletic than everyone around them, and they just dominated with that. So they just were able to bully everyone with their athleticism and didn't have to, like, for example, obviously it's a completely different position and a different story, but for like Fernando Mendoza, dude had to work extra hard because he wasn't as talented as top prospects, right? He wasn't as athletic as some of the other top prospects. But he was able to work hard. He's super smart. He dialed in, and he learned how to maximize his abilities, right? And that makes it, now he's number one overall pick, and that makes him a better quarterback. The best players are the players that have these elite traits, but they also dial in and learn how to maximize their abilities. But a guy like Keldrick Folk, to me, a guy like Lucas Van Ness, to me, is a guy who his whole life he literally could just bully everyone, so he never found a reason to maximize those abilities. And when they tried to, it was too late. And that's what I feel like we're trying to do with so many athletic players. It's what I felt like people did with Anthony Richardson. It's what I feel like they do with every single position in different ways. It's what they did with Shamar Stewart last year, it felt like. And I feel like that's what's going to happen with Keldrick Folk once again.
Yeah, man, I would not agree with taking him this high, but...
Yeah. So, anyway, moving to 16 after the Jets took Ruben Bain at 2. Is that right?
Yeah.
So, I think they're in a really good spot, so don't fumble their draft here.
Is it crazy to say Jeremiah Love's an option?
He's here at 16.
Is he an option?
I mean, you don't know what's happening with Brees. Is he a free agent this year?
Yeah. I think you would at least tag Brees. Because
Unless
running
you
back
take Jeremiah
tag is
Love.
cheap.
But you don't bank on taking him, obviously.
Yeah, especially unless you think you want him at 2.
But Peter Woods is here, by the way.
I'm going to go with Caleb Banks here.
Whoa!
It's not that big of a reach. It's not even a reach.
Over Peter Woods, though?
He was really good last season.
You sold the draft, bro.
How does that selling the
Dude,
draft?
imagine they got Peter Woods and Ruben Bain.
What if Banks is better than Peter Woods?
Well, he played 3 games.
He was amazing in the Senior Bowl. He was good last year. He's pretty athletic.
Yeah, I mean but
around
we
the
didn't
range
watch
where
the
we go.
Senior Bowl, so.
Yeah, excited to see what our defensive line rankings end up being.
We got to start getting invited to the Senior Bowl so we can see things.
Yeah,
like
come
this.
on, guys.
Anybody know how to get us invited?
Anyone have any connections?
Yeah, maybe we'll get there one day, but
Next year we should go.
it's
We should go and do videos.
I'd be down.
Be if we have one of the little mics, and be I don't even know.
I like ask them stuff.
Yeah.
So you're saying, yeah, let us know in the comments if you guys would want to see us do stuff
Because
like that.
that's actually what they do that.
Yeah. So if
yeah.
people want us to do that, let us know because
Yeah.
I'd be interested to do that for sure. But it's hard. My point of bringing that up is it's hard to take other people's word for it, if that makes sense. So yeah, he obviously played well because multiple people noticed him at the Senior Bowl. But how well? Is he really worth rising this much? Are people just pushing him up their board because someone said he played well, so they just assume he's going to go top 15 now, right? There's a wide possibility of outcomes here because we didn't watch it. We didn't see it, right? We're not on the inside. So I think it's fine to take him in a mock draft. I think Peter Woods would be a much safer pick and probably a better pick here for the Jets if you're actually drafting, right? If that makes sense. So it's kind of crazy. Jeremiah Love and Peter Woods are both still on the board.
Mm-hmm.
So for the Lions, I'm going to take Jeremiah Love here. No, I'm just kidding because that would make absolutely no sense. Imagine Jahmyr Gibbs and Jeremiah Love in the same backfield.
Just wouldn't make any sense.
We just sub them out every single play, and so then they're completely fresh the entire game, and they're just that would be unfair. But I don't know how much it would actually help. Lions is interesting. Their line was much worse this season, and Jared Goff really struggled with that. He took a ton of sacks, and even though his stats looked pretty good by the end of the year, he still really struggled with it. Don't let the stats fool you. Obviously, he played fine. He was not a bad quarterback, but he wasn't good for sure. He looked like he had concrete on his feet, and the line couldn't stop him from getting exposed for that. So I definitely think that line is a big need and a big look here. But looking at all the players, there's obviously not that many options. I think I took Caden Proctor here once and put him at guard.
I feel like that was a different team.
Maybe that was a different team, actually, now that I'm thinking about it more. But, you've got some, you could take tackle or something, but I just feel like the value isn't quite here. On the defensive side of the ball, definitely could use a corner. But do you want to take a developmental guy? I mean, you could take Avian Terrell, but you already have people that you want to be your developmental guys. You've got Terry and Arnold that I think you want to be your developmental guy. Looked better at the end of the year, if I remember correctly. So, you want that to already work out. You could take an edge on the other side of Aiden Hutchinson. I think we've talked about Akeem Messidor here before. It does feel a bit high for a 25-year-old.
Yeah, but he
fits.
Definitely the best edge rusher right now.
He fits.
For day one.
Right. You could take TJ Parker here. I think that's a really interesting option. By the way, this is not a guy that I'm considering, but I just saw him and I want to talk about him real fast. R. Mason Thomas is a beast. Don't know why he's not talked about more.
He's undersized, really undersized.
Yes, well, he does look like that. And so I remember writing, because I watched the Oklahoma-Alabama playoff game, and I was scouting R. Mason Thomas. And he went up against Caden Proctor, who is not undersized. He is
not at all.
Very big. And R. Mason Thomas like took him and just like shoved him like over and over. He would just like shove him out the way whenever he matched up against him and the other tackle. I mean, he looked like half the size of these tackles, and he was like one-arming them to the ground. He is extremely strong, especially for his size. And because he's undersized, he's extremely quick, but he doesn't give up like power, even though he's undersized, is what I've noticed from him. So I think he's a beast. I think he's going to be super good in the league. And I just want to throw that out there. I think he could be a riser if people ignore the sizing thing. But
I'm not sure why you would ignore that.
Well,
but he's not a good run defender either, from what I've heard.
But I loved what I saw from him. I obviously only watched one game in depth on him, but loved what I saw. I think I am going to go edge here. I just don't really see anything else that makes too much sense. I'm going to go T.J. Parker here. If I remember correctly, he's a big riser right now. I think he had a good Senior Bowl, right? And so obviously everyone, you're going to notice a trend that the Senior Bowl risers, some of them are Clemson players. And that's because everyone took a step back on Clemson, like we've talked about quite a bit. It feels like that the whole team just decided collectively to not be good, or maybe it was the coaching staff, and they just decided they want to hurt their players' draft stock. I'm not really sure exactly what happened there, but it was rough, and all the players seem to be on the rise as soon as the season ended, because we know Peter Woods, T.J. Parker, these guys have talent. They have so much talent. It's just about the fact that even Avian Terrell, like they all had down years, but the belief that their talent is still there, and that there's no way it was all a coincidence that they all happen to have down years the exact same year on the same exact team. So I'm going to take TJ Parker here, and I think that if he works out, that could be an elite pass rush duo with him and Hutch.
Would not like that pick personally as a Packers fan. He's a great run defender out the gate, plus he's shown a lot of pass rush moves.
He had 12 sacks his second season. So
that's doing that as
ton for college,
19-year-old or whatever, 19, 20-year-old.
He's also doing that in like playing real teams. Like he played for Clemson. Like he played real college football teams. And 12 for a college player, by the way, is like insane. So surprised he's not talked about more, if I'm being completely honest. I feel like this edge class could actually be really good.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
if TJ Parker works out, obviously I think Ruben Bain's great. Akeem Mestor is going to be great day one. If David Bailey works out, if Arvell Reese works out, I like R. Mason Thomas. I mean, that's 6 edges that could be really good.
Just more down the board.
That is an insane edge class, like ridiculous edge class. So, not talked about enough, in my opinion, how good this edge class is. Everyone's just like, "Oh, this class is so weak." Well, a top three most important position in the league has the deepest class we've seen in a while. So,
well, there's only like 5 great players, and then there's like 30 good players. Normally, there's not 30 good players. There's just a lot more great players, I think.
But all the good players have a chance to be great, is how it works. So, like, assuming it's going to be weak is wrong. And I think I could see this class, from what I've heard, I could see this class being better than last year's. And I'm being like, oh, I knew it was going to be strong. Like, pretend like pretend it was never going to be weak.
Yeah, like, a big part of it, though, is the quarterback position as well being very bad up top and thin, both.
Yeah, and the quarterback class is terrible, but that doesn't mean the whole class is bad. And I think that,
and the running back class, there's one running back.
I think there's a thing where a lot of, and I'm not calling people that say the class is weak casual, but I'm saying I think a lot of casuals do say that like really only look at quarterbacks a lot of the time. I know when I didn't pay attention to the draft, that's really the only position I paid attention to, and maybe like some top running back and wide receiver picks, right? Like I didn't really pay attention to the other positions. So the fact that you're looking at quarterback and you're like, wow, this class is just terrible. This class must suck. Like the whole class
is not a good class, though.
And so I don't know. I actually don't hate the class as a whole.
I mean, definitely a good amount of depth at most positions.
You've got some elite corners, an insane edge class. You've got Caleb Downs, so you're automatically good safety class. I mean, you got Jeremiah Love, so good running back class at the top. Wide receiver class is very good. Like you've got a ton of.
I love this receiver.
Like
class.
You have so many positions that are so good, and wide receiver and edge are two of top 4 most valued positions. I mean,
top 3 in the NFL by pay.
So, and they're both extremely deep. So I don't know. I just think that, a little tangent aside, I think that this class is actually pretty solid.
Got the easiest pick of the draft right now.
18 to the Vikings? You think so?
Jeremiah Love. It's Jeremiah Love.
didn't-
if he's here, he's a Viking.
Yeah, I mean,
This is the lowest.
how is he here?
Probably fall. It's because after the Chiefs at, what are they, like 9? After them at 9, it's like, I've been looking, does this team need a running back? No teams need running backs.
Dude.
Or they have like huge needs as well. I mean, the
If he
Jets,
falls to 18, the Broncos should trade up and take him.
you just wasted a second round pick then.
I don't care.
On RJ Harvey.
You get rid of a second round pick to get Jeremiah Love.
Okay, so you're gonna have to pay.
Doing that 99 times out of 100, by the way.
By the way, that means you're throwing your second round pick last year in the trash.
He can be a good receiving back for us.
So you're taking Jeremiah Love out of the game?
He obviously can't play every down.
Yeah, but
Are you stupid?
You're putting in RJ Harvey. You're saying he's a good receiving back.
Mm-hmm.
He is not. Jeremiah Love is a receiving back.
I'm not saying that he's going to take a bunch of snaps from Jeremiah Love, but Jeremiah Love can get a rest and be fresher for the rest of the game. He doesn't have to play every snap just because, like, that. I think that's very stupid philosophy because
well, definitely the second round pick was a waste.
Well, I'm just saying that I think that's a very dumb philosophy because every running back in the league that's starting is obviously the better running back, and if they're also a receiving back, it doesn't mean they play every snap. It means that they also just have that ability every down instead of only when your receiving back comes in.
When you basically threw your second round pick in the trash, and then you're paying.
I'm just saying that he's not going to
28
be here.
And a second round pick next year.
He's not going to be here, and we're not going to trade up. I was just saying.
He could easily be.
I was just saying that our team would look like really explosive if we had a guy like Jeremiah Love. That'd be
a lot of teams would want Jeremiah Love.
Yeah, I'm just saying that I would too, and you like freaked out about that. So
Not freak out.
you did. You were like, "Well, we'll just waste all your picks then. Why don't you?" Like, I don't know. It's just really dramatic.
I mean, I feel like you're being a lot more dramatic.
No, I think that was just super like weird. I feel like everyone in the comments is gonna agree with me. If we traded up for Jeremiah Love, that would be a good trade up, not a bad one.
Do not. Trading for running back is just not that smart.
It is when your team is so stacked.
I disagree.
But also, I would love to trade up for a receiver. So
Everyone wants to trade up, even though trading down
yeah, honestly,
historically is
we're
the
not.
better move.
We're definitely not trading up. So, but
Okay. Well,
anyway, yeah, very easy pick. Jeremiah Love is pretty good. he's pretty damn good. So I will take him here to the Vikings. Don't need to say anything else.
I took him. Not you.
No, I did.
No, I did. It's your pick. Your pick, bruh.
That whole time I thought I was taking him.
Bro, what are you doing?
That whole time I thought I was taking him. What the heck? Anyway, moving on to the Panthers. I think you took Peter Woods here last time. I'm not going to take him again because I don't want to repeat. What?
Make a bad pick so you don't repeat.
I don't think their best position on defense, by the way, is interior D-line where Peter Woods plays.
Derek Brown got hurt and they had the worst run defense of all time. Just saying.
Okay. So you just want to like repeat at his position because Derek Brown might get hurt. That's the
if he gets hurt, then
mindset.
they can't win games.
What about edge?
They could take an edge too.
They
Is there one here?
Cassius Howell.
Okay. You taking Cassius Howell?
Well, I don't.
Where is he? They draw. Oh, never mind. I was starting to scroll down and try to find him, and I realized
What about
he's at
Akeem
the top.
Messidor?
What about him?
I think he could go here.
Okay.
I don't think it makes, or I don't think it's the worst pick in the world. Even though you could get an edge, a guy with some experience, obviously at 25. But I don't know. I think that could make some sense. Obviously, receiver could make some sense. But then you have Jalen Coker. We talked about that a few times.
Mm-hmm.
How he looked amazing in that playoff game. You assume obviously Jeremiah Love just went off the board. You're not taking running back. You're not taking quarterback. I'm just going through positions right now. Tight end. I mean, you could definitely use a tight end, but you're probably not taking Kenyon Sadiq here when you have a lot of holes. Corner, you've got Horn.
Mike Jackson's good.
Is he? I don't know if good's the right word.
He's a good CB2. Like,
Okay.
they do not need to address corner.
And then you've got. I'm literally going through their whole team right now. I'm trying to figure out exactly.
I think they could use
Inside
a linebacker, D-line edge.
Is CJ Allen crazy here? CJ Allen's here, right?
High for CJ Allen, but
I think we've
they
taken
want to
him,
prioritize
I think we've taken him
linebacker.
higher.
No. You keep saying that, but we both took him at 20 to the Cowboys.
So the next pick.
Why don't we
It's a bit high. I would wait till the next pick probably.
just gonna move him up one pick every single time. This guy.
So I think that would be interesting. CJ Allen here. I think linebacker is actually way more valuable than people think it is. Obviously not to NFL teams, but I think it's more valuable to a team than people think it is. So I think it's between obviously Peter Woods, but I want to change it up. C.J. Allen and who's the other one I said? Cassius Howell or Akeem Messidor. I don't want to take those guys. I don't think they fit. So I'm just gonna go C.J. Allen.
Interesting. Personally, would have taken Peter Woods. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, we know you took him last time. I'm just switching it up. How many times do I have to say that? So I'm taking C.J. Allen. He's obviously a good linebacker for them, and he can start right away at a need for the team. So start improving that defense, improve the tackling, improve the run defense. You want to talk about fixing the run defense? Well, I'll give you a guy that you don't have a good player at the position for, C.J. Allen, who can help with the run defense. Where obviously Peter Woods and Derek Brown will play at the same time if Peter Woods came to the team. But I think, and I do think Peter Woods is obviously a better pick here. But I want to switch it up. You never know. I don't know how likely it is that we're going to get it right if we guess the same one every single time. So we'll go C.J. Allen.
All right. Cowboys at 20.
Who you got?
Dude, this
Mason
pick
Thomas.
20 might be the worst pick.
It always is.
But, I think Peter Woods is obviously good value here. I don't think anyone else is good value here.
Mason Thomas.
Every single time we get to this pick, we're like, yeah, this pick is not great. But the thing is, they're paying Odigizua, I think he's still on the team, $20 million. You have Quinnen Williams. Defensive line really shouldn't be where you're putting a lot of, big investment in. Edge makes sense. As Rocky's good, but that's about it. Safety, who is their safeties? Sure. Marquise
for
Bell.
who? Sorry, it was
for the Cowboys. Is Marquise Bell playing still? That's safety. I know he moved back.
Is Clark playing? He's not playing, is he?
Damone Clark?
No, not.
Elijah Clark?
Yeah.
No.
I know he played a lot on special teams. I didn't know if he played or not.
Bro.
Who started?
I don't know. I'm blanking. So they need safety, it looks like, but do I want to?
You could take safety.
I could take Athena Man.
Are we missing? I feel like there's someone we definitely
ignored. But, are we really missing two safeties?
We might be. Who are their safeties? Now you got me blanking, bro. Dude, I don't know.
Dude, that's actually crazy. We can't name their safeties.
Dude, I know who they are.
Hooker? No, not Amani Hooker. The other Hooker. Malik Hooker? Is he still there?
Maybe. It was whoever played with Dan Quinn, I think.
Oh, well, that's a little embarrassing.
Dude, okay, anyway. Moving on.
I'm going to take Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, I guess.
Yeah.
I haven't seen this pick, so it's interesting to make a new pick. He's been compared to Nyheim Howard, but, Nyheim Howard is the most athletic safety of all time. He's super athletic, though, and he had, 5 picks and 5 forced fumbles or something in the past 2 seasons, something like that. Turns the ball over a lot. Just a playmaker for Toledo, so getting that in this Cowboys defense.
For Toledo.
Yeah.
That's the concern.
Quinyon Mitchell was a Toledo player.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying it can't work.
He's churning out secondary players right now. 2 in the last 3 drafts.
Churning them out.
Yeah, churning 2 of them out.
Well, moving back to 21, you got some options here. Seen a lot of people talk about receiver, obviously. You've got DK Metcalf on one side and nobody on the other. I've seen people talk about Denzel Boston a lot, but it just doesn't make sense to take another huge receiver.
They need a separator.
I've seen Casey Concepcion here before, but I don't know if we've ever taken him in the first round in one of these.
He is in most people's first
round. But I'm going to do what my favorite pick of this is, and I'm going to go Ty Simpson again. Because I really think that there's a good chance Ty Simpson goes in the first round.
I like him at the beginning of the second. If you need,
it's too early, but I think this is a really good shot.
21 is kind of
crazy.
And
again, I'm going to clarify it. I don't think this is a good pick at all. I think this is a horrible reach. I think it could easily happen. I think someone in the first round is going to take him, and it feels like the Steelers is a really good shot.
I feel like if he's taking the first round, it's going to be like a Cardinals trading up into the back end to try to.
That could happen too, but we're not doing trades, obviously, which we should probably do trades soon.
Eventually.
But I really think that without trades, this is one of the most likely, if not the most likely spot for him. It feels just like the Kenny Pickett pick.
Yeah, maybe we do trades after free agency when we know what they need.
Yeah, that might make
Maybe
some
that
more
makes
sense.
sense.
But
I think right now it's a bit too early to try to project.
moving to 22 at the Chargers, I think this is funny. I'm looking at it. Their needs say center, guard, and D line. Like just interior O line, please, because God was it bad.
Took their pick 12 picks early.
Yep. So what are you gonna do now?
Oh, it's my pick.
Yep.
So they have both tackles. They'll probably sign at least one interior offensive lineman. They still have Zion Johnson, who's playable, maybe?
Maybe.
Let's say they sign Cade Mays. That feels like a signing. I mean, they signed Bozeman off Carolina. I don't know why that feels like a signing they'd make. So basically, in my opinion, I think I go guard or I just take Peter Woods. But they did just... They don't have a star defensive lineman at all.
No, they do not.
Do they even have an above average D lineman? Probably not. So it's like what? Pregnon? Is he? Yeah, Pregnon or... I'm just going to take Peter Woods, best player available.
Mm-hmm.
Fills maybe not necessarily a need, but also interior. If you do wait on center, the centers are going second and third round. The first one will be off the board in the second or third round. And for guards, your second round pick, you could still get Pregnon. If not, I mean, there's other guards still on the board. You don't need to force it in round one if there's a great player.
Yeah. No, I think that's totally valid. Moving to 23, I'm about to make one hell of a prediction. You're not ready for this one. You're going to hate it. You're going to hate me.
What could you possibly do here?
I have
Michael Trigg?
such a good... Michael Trigg. What?
I'm just trying to predict.
I have such a good prediction. My pick is Denzel Boston. Now let me explain why.
Well, I know why.
Let me explain
I know why. It's very obvious.
AJ
It's
Brown,
just a bad prediction.
AJ Brown will be gone by the end of the offseason. He hates it here. He might come to the Broncos, He might.
Such a bad pick.
But if he does go, I think Denzel Boston makes a ton of sense for them. He fills in for that skill set. Obviously AJ Brown is not as big or anything, but he plays like he's big, right? He plays up like he's big like that. Similar to what Denzel Boston can bring to the table. And I think that, you can let Devontae Smith thrive a lot in this offense. And then you can have your big body on the other side to still balance him out, if that makes sense. And so I think that this is a crazy prediction, but hey, I'm here to have some fun. I'm here to make a crazy prediction. And I think that if A.J. Brown is gone, I could very see them going with this pick. If A.J. Brown's gone.
What is he, 27, 28? Like, how old is A.J. Brown? What would he get in a trade? Would he get a first?
Yes.
Okay, if he gets a first, it's going to be around 23rd, which is their pick, or later. Right?
Okay.
So they're basically trading A.J. Brown for Denzel Boston.
No.
Essentially, what they're doing is saying...
No, they're trading A.J. Brown for Denzel Boston and another pick.
You think they're getting more than a first for A.J. Brown?
No, they're taking Denzel Boston with their own pick. It's essentially like they already have Denzel Boston.
Well, essentially...
And they're just getting... Like, the way you're looking at it is wrong.
If they didn't trade away A.J. Brown, they would not be taking Denzel Boston. They would be taking someone else.
Okay.
So they're essentially trading
A.J. Brown for Denzel Boston. Get 5 years younger.
Dude, he is not A.J. Brown.
Dude, I never said he was.
He is not close to the level.
I never said he was.
You're hoping that he is almost as good as A.J. Brown.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's a good pick. I just said it's likely. And I think there's a big difference because you're trying to compensate for the fact that, like, you have to get rid of him because he doesn't want to be here. It's not getting rid of him because you think you can get good value. It's getting rid of him because he's like a cancer in the locker room right this second. So it's not like you're trying to get the most value out of him.
Remember last time a team thought they could replace A.J. Brown with a mid to late 20s draft pick, and that did not go well.
Yeah, they took Traylon Burks. That's their fault.
Okay, and we might be looking back.
Did I say that I think they should do this? I wouldn't take half of these picks. Maybe more than half.
Something that they would even think about.
This is what you always
well, let's
yell
move on.
Well, I would never do that.
Let's go to the Browns here.
I'm not taking more than half of these.
Really? I feel like I personally try to make picks that I think
I'm not
good.
taking Mendoza. I'm not taking Arvell Reese. I'm not taking... Like, there's so many.
Well, that's two. So
I wanted to stop so you could make your next pick.
My pick. Browns are obviously taking a lineman here. I don't have any linemen, so I just picked the best player available, which Caleb Ilomu's super young, got the tools. He can play tackle or guard, I believe. Is that who I want to go with? Or do I want to go with Ahinachor, I think is how you pronounce Max Ahinachor. Super athletic riser at the Senior Bowl.
Go ahead.
I think he's going around 1, so I'm going to take Max Ahinachor.
Wow, that's...
I don't know if he'll go before Caleb Lomu, but I think he's going to be for sure in the range of Monroe Freeling, which is a guy we have had in the first round multiple times.
Wow, that's pretty shocking that you went with him. I'm not even going to try to say his last name.
Ahinachor.
I'm not trying.
I really hope I got that right.
I'm not trying to say it. That is quite the last name, so not trying. Moving on to 25, we got the Bears. Pretty complete team as of right now. They looked pretty good last season. Offensive line's obviously set, so you're not going to take that here. You could look linebacker for sure, but C.J. Allen's already off the board, so you'd have to reach for sure. I mean, you could go interior D-line, but, already off the board with Peter Woods. Safety, McNeil Warren's already off the board, so kind of the players you want are already gone. You'd have to have them fall. I think I'm just going to go Caden McDonald here.
Yeah.
Get a run stopper in there and just help on that interior D-line because they could really use some help there. And I don't think there's that much value here necessarily at other positions.
Yeah, I completely agree.
So,
I mean, it's kind of the pick a lot of Bears fans want. Gervon Dexter's pretty solid, I guess, but they don't have anyone else. So
yeah,
got to get him a running mate.
26.
Bills here. I mean, I still think DB doesn't make too much sense as a need. I think they need another safety, but maybe do that second round, free agency. I don't know. Linebacker. I mean, we have had, what's his face? Golday. I don't think he's a first round player, but I think he's a guy that's going to definitely rise and get at least close to the first round. Cassius Howell's still here. Let me see. Bosa's way too old. Bosa's not really part of your future plan. Do they take an edge here? Messidor could make sense.
Replace the old guy with the old guy.
He's like the same age as Russo.
I like Messidor, though. He's a good player, obviously. He's just old. Not going to be developable with Madden or anything.
Imagine how rough it would be if... Imagine he becomes like a second-round pick. He's like a 72 and he's 25.
With normal dev.
Well, with any dev. He's unusable.
He might be usable if he's got star. Maybe.
I'd rather you be 60, like a 67 normal who's 21.
Obviously.
Yeah.
That'd be easier. But
age matters way more.
Yeah, in Madden.
Yeah, that's so.
But
Obviously, we're not taking him here because...
Not in real life.
In real life, he can't develop because he's 25. They obviously want a receiver.
Yeah, I mean, obviously. Concepcion!
What?
I just like saying his name.
Okay.
I don't think they would ever take him. What other receiver would you take? Chris Bell?
I mean, Chris Bell does make sense. He's injured a lot. I mean...
Zachariah Brown.
No, not a lot, but like he's coming off an injury.
2 rounds.
Yeah, I just don't think I'd take Omar Cooper personally, but I want him to play a good amount of slot in the NFL. Concepcion. Is that who I should take here? I mean, I don't love Concepcion, but I think that's who I'm going to take here. Best receiver,
interesting,
according to public opinion on the board. Super fast.
Might just because of his name.
Well, okay. He does not have great hands, but
he's fast.
I do think that the Bills need to maybe not rely on these guys that can't separate too much, like they have tried in the past.
Or that can't catch.
Maybe they should take Surratt here. He fits the mold of the guys they've been drafting. But those do not work, so I'm going to take the polar opposite in Concepcion.
Fair enough. The
only problem is it's kind of like a weapon guy that you might want to, scheme up some touches similar to Shakir. But I think you can play the Z, so it's not that big of a deal.
At 27 here to the Niners. This is interesting. They have edge on here as a need. I disagree. I don't think they're going to consider...
I think they do need an edge.
Well, I think they need one on the other side of Bosa, but what I mean by I disagree is I don't think they're considering it as a need because they just drafted Michael Williams. They obviously want to see if he can develop, and they have Nick Bosa on the other side. You're not taking an edge here in the first round. Safety, not going to take a safety. Guard, I mean, you could take Pregnon here. And receiver situation is obviously horrific right this second. I mean, you have what's his name?
Ricky Pearsall.
Ricky Pearsall, who Troy Aikman loves, but no one else does. And he has been struggling to stay on the field as of late.
As of his entire career. He's
So-
missed more games than he's played.
So it's not really the best situation. So for me, I'm just going to take the best receiver on the board. I'm going to take Omar Cooper. I'm going to take Omar Cooper Jr.
I wonder if people are going to start catching on. I feel like eventually it's going to be like, oh, you don't love Omar Cooper. He's a first-round guy or something. I feel like eventually he's going to catch up to where I have him, and then it's going to be sad. He won't be able to be my sleeper anymore.
Well, he's very good from what I've seen watching Mendoza film. It feels like he breaks a tackle or two every single time he touches the football, which is awesome as a receiver. Not to mention the fact that he can separate like a beast. So you get him in here, he can play receiver for you. He's flexible, he can move around, and he's going to absolutely cook in the Kyle Shanahan offense.
Yeah, 100%.
Simple as that.
Yeah, I love that pick for them.
Yeah, and now you have an easy pick here at 28.
Do I?
You know what position you're taking.
I feel like this is just an easy pick because you're like, is a guard somehow here, or do I take a tackle?
Yeah,
but
you take.
I'm taking Caleb Lomu because Ursary, left tackle. You're hoping he works out. He looked pretty solid this year, and then I think Trent Brown right now is a right tackle. You could have Caleb Lomu fit in there if you wanted to, or play early in his career at guard where you have a bigger need, and then he could eventually kick out to tackle. I think he's a good fit there, and hopefully will develop into a great player.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
The Glaze is crazy.
Moving on to 29. This is really interesting because I think that if I didn't take Simpson, this is very realistic for Simpson. It's the same situation where they just don't feel like they have a ton of holes. So I'm looking at it. I don't know why it says tackle. Like, it really is weird to me that it says tackle is a need.
I don't get it.
But I think this is an easy pick for me, probably. I'm going to take Avian Terrell because he's still here. Feels like he ends up falling a lot in these just because he is a developmental guy in the first round. At corner, it's hard to want to take a guy who you know is not going to be good in his first year, most likely. But the Rams can probably get away with it, even though they prefer. Like, I think it doesn't make sense to consider him at 13 because if you're taking him there, you want them to help you compete right now. You can take him at 29. He's the second pick of the first round. You got the guy you want to help you compete, and now you got your guy you can develop into hopefully a future superstar who is so young, so raw, and has so much talent, and had a down year this year. Like, there also is that chance that he's good right away because he was really good in 2024. 2025 he was not, but he's super young. He had a down year on the team that everyone had a down year on. So I think he could and like he's explosive. He had 3 touchdowns in each of his last 2 years. So he had 6 touchdowns in the last 2 years, which is kind of crazy. I don't know.
Allowed?
No, scored, right?
For a corner?
Yeah.
No, that's how many they allowed.
Oh, that's not good. That's not good.
Oh, yeah, he scores 3 touchdowns.
I was like,
next
what?
Emmanuel Forbes.
I was like, huh? I was looking at it. I was like, dude, how'd he get that many? Especially since it said 0 picks under it. Anyway.
What did you think happened?
I thought he scored 3 touchdowns. Anyway, I even thought for a second maybe he played some offense. I don't know.
Oh, my gosh.
Anyway, that was embarrassing. Avian Terrell, though, good player, lots of potential. Why not take him here?
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't have to play early on. I mean, they had passable corner play. Definitely the weak part of their defense. But Emmanuel Forbes is solid. You got Kobe Durant. If you re-sign him, he's fine sometimes.
I disagree. He's terrible.
Bro, that Bears game, he had 2 picks in that game, and it was still like an awful game because he sold so hard.
Still would have gotten like a 20 PFF grade in my opinion.
Bro, he like dove out of the way and let Komet catch it.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
So, it's what it is, I guess.
If any other corners there, I'm just saying that's not the best throw of all time, or whatever people want to say. Broncos here. You said they like your best player available. By 10 picks, that's Cassius Howell. Should be taking Cassius Howell here because he's the best player available, right?
Okay, go ahead.
No, that doesn't make any sense. He's also not the best player available.
I think this is an easy pick.
Kenyon Sadiq makes sense just because unless Sean Payton's just saying that for no reason, I want my Joker. Well,
yeah.
I mean, he makes sense for your Joker here. I think.
Yeah, he's.
I think he might end up going.
Pick. If he's here
in the second round,
it makes sense.
Michael Trigg in the second round. I feel like that'd be a good pick.
Interesting.
But I don't think he makes too much sense as a first-round pick, but at pick 30, it's not too bad. Who's that lineman that you guys had that scored that touchdown?
Frank Crum.
Unless he's the Joker. Maybe he should be the Joker.
He kind of is. That was tough.
Yeah, that was tough. They're going to play him at tight end.
Anyway.
Can't be worse
I think
than-
it's an obvious pick. He's athletic.
Yeah.
We can get our Joker. Not much else to say about that one. 31, I want to have some fun here. Have a really good idea.
Oh, no.
Patriots could
This
use
is
some
gotta be
help
terrible.
on the D-line. I talked about it earlier, how much I like him. I'm taking Mason Thomas. I think he's a second-round guy right now, obviously. But let's say he jumps in the first round. I think he's a great prospect. He showed so much potential. You can get him in there on a Mike Vrabel defense. It looked elite in the playoffs, and get a really good pass rusher when I think they could really use an elite pass rusher on the edge. So,
Worst pick of the draft.
holy hate. You know what the worst pick of the draft was?
Mason Thomas.
Where is it? Where is it?
I don't hate our Mason Thomas.
Wait, where do we take him?
Who?
15 was the worst pick of the draft. Keldrick Folk.
Okay. Anyway, the reason why I think this is the worst pick is because the Patriots have Kayvon Chason, who I believe is a better pass rusher than run defender, and then they have Harold Landry, who I know is a better pass rusher than run defender. Harold Landry is very similar to our Mason Thomas.
Mason Thomas is just way better.
I'm just saying
They can
they
sign
already
a
have
run
these
defender.
Designated pass rushers, which is kind of what our Mason
You
Thomas
can
is
literally
supposed
just
to be.
sign a run defender.
You can just sign a designated pass rusher.
No, run defenders are way easier to get. So
Okay, well,
I like the pick.
You want a guy who can do both, so then you don't have to constantly sub him out on each down.
I like the pick, bro. Stop
Just
hating.
don't think the fit makes sense.
Stop
personally.
hating, bro. Stop hating.
Okay, well, next up we have the Seahawks here, who have 5 needs. We serious? Feels a little disrespectful. Wouldn't call linebacker a need at all. Wouldn't call running back a need because you're re-signing the Super Bowl MVP.
I heard that he's not getting franchise tagged.
Kenneth Walker.
He's not expected to.
He if he's not on the Seahawks, that's insane.
Yeah, that'd be pretty crazy.
I mean, he was the only piece of offense you had. in the
Interior
Super Bowl.
line makes sense, though. I think I know where I'd go with this.
Manuel Pregnon. Let's replace Anthony Bradford, who's super underrated. So we're not gonna do that. Just kidding. Dude, Lee Hunter, I think will end up being a first-round pick, but I don't think he makes too much. Yeah, he does not make sense here
At all.
Christian Miller could be a first-round pick. Monroe Freeling's probably gonna be a first-round pick. Brandon Cisse, I pick every single time because I think he makes so much sense.
It does.
I think he's great value here at 32. Do I just want to go Cisse again? I think corner's their biggest need. Colton Hood's at 48. Jeez, they hate him.
They hate him. I think this is an easy pick, bro.
I think the best pick here is clearly Cisse.
I think it's clearly Pregnon.
I think it's clearly Cisse. Cisse's an amazing prospect.
Then just take Cisse.
I feel so bad
didn't
for
take him
Seahawks
last time.
fans.
We didn't take
Oh, yeah,
him.
because you drafted.
Mm-hmm. Well, you took him earlier.
Oh, yeah, probably. I feel really bad for Seahawks fans because this is a pick I see every single time, but if Cisse's there, you got to pick
Well, when you win the
Cisse.
Super Bowl, you're not going to have fun in mock drafts.
Yeah, I mean...
Kind of how it works.
Or if you trade right, I mean, I don't have that much fun in mock drafts since we don't have a first round pick.
It's kind of a
at least you have
trade-off.
first round pick.
It's kind of a trade-off.
But I think CC has amazing value there. Could easily be their outside CB1. CB1 outside of Devon Witherspoon.
Yeah.
Easily.
Well,
Yeah.
this is our mock draft here. Mock draft 3.0. Let us know what you think down in the comments. I know we made some interesting picks. We wanted to shake it up. You know, still 2 months out, guys. We got a
The
lot.
draft is shaken up. Like, you do not expect these picks that end up happening.
Right.
Even all the way up in April when you
Right.
can't predict it.
So you just have to make some crazy predictions sometimes. It's not going to be the same thing every time, and that's what makes it fun. So let us know in the comments what your crazy prediction is. I really want to know. It's like what you think the most wild thing that can happen is in the draft here that you think is still realistic. And thanks for watching. If you made it to this point in the video, you probably liked it, so make sure you subscribe, and have a good one, everybody.